Tell me how much money would make you happy. 25 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 1 crore. We often measure happiness in zeros. But here's the thing. Research shows that once you hit that magic figure, yes, the one that you think would make you happy, your mind automatically increases the target. Suddenly the magic number that you felt was enough last year moves ahead. But why this sudden shift? Let the research explain. Studies from Princeton and University of Pennsylvania have actually showed that money does make you happier. You can afford a decent home, travel, food, and all things good. But beyond a point when all your necessities and luxuries are covered, an increase in your income will not necessarily contribute to your finances. You start to value other things more, like your time, your health, your relationships, and so on. In other words, money can solve a few of your problems until the problem becomes wanting more of it. The Indian chase for more. We live in a country where comparison is sort of a lifestyle. Your cousin just got a bigger car. Your colleagues are going to Europe. Your neighbor's kids are going to international schools. And you start wondering if you're behind, even when your life was fine yesterday. That's how most of us lose satisfaction. Not because we don't have enough, but because someone else might have more. As a result of this feeling, we start to give more time to work, stop saving time for ourselves, and end up not feeling fulfilled. So maybe it's time to flip the question. Instead of asking how much more I should be earning, try asking how much is enough for me to live happily. For some, enough means having a home they feel safe in, a vacation a year, and spending time with their families on the weekend. For others, it's the freedom to choose, to be able to take a break, spend time with their parents, or do the work that's actually important. And here's the thing. When you define your own enough, the chase slows down. You stop measuring life in lakhs and start measuring it in the peace of mind. Let me tell you a story. A guy, let's name him Rohan, used to work in a big AMC and earn very decent amount. Late night calls, missed birthdays, hardly any weekends for himself. All of this became a part of his life. One day, he sat down and asked himself, what am I really working for? Turns out, his ideal life was not about earning more, but having more time for himself. To fix that, he moved to a smaller city with the same paycheck. Suddenly, he had more free evenings, more time to spend with his family and to pursue his own hobbies, and even went on vacations frequently. And here's the twist. His savings actually didn't go down, but grew. That's because his lifestyle actually matched to what mattered to him. That's what happens when you stop chasing more and define your own version of what is enough. And that's what good financial planning must do for you. Not just grow your wealth, but also grow your well-being. Once you know what number is actually good for you, life changes. You spend smarter, invest better, and actually make the choices that bring you peace, not pressure. So how do you make sure your financial planning actually fits the life that you want? Here are a few steps you can use to redefine what is your enough. Number 1, list your real priorities, not just something that everybody else is chasing. Ask yourself, what will actually bring me peace? What are my important goals? And then start working on them. Number 2, separate your goals with impulses. Wanting to upgrade your car is good, but don't confuse it with progress. Number 3, buy time, not things. Invest in health, rest, and freedom. And the last but not the least, number 4, align your money with your meaning. Plan your finances so they better serve your values, not your insecurities. At the end of the day, money should serve your life and not the other way around. At FinCart, planners help you define what is enough for you and then build plans that actually serve your goals, not just blind wealth creation. It's not just about blind growth, but about a balance, about living well today and also your future security. Because real wealth isn't about how much you have, it's about how well it lets you live.